It's been a few days since I've done any reporting on the convoy and what's been going on, but police have decided to use violence when it came to the peaceful protesters. I know, surprise. Who would have guessed that the only violence that has been at this protest came from the police? I know, I'm just as shocked as you are. But there has been something that I thought was truly disgusting, and that was the way they used horses to trample on an older lady. And I want to mention, this older lady isn't just an older lady. She is the clan mother of the Mohawk tribe, which is going to be a bad look for anybody who decides to claim this is a white supremacist gathering. So I would like to go through some of these videos with you of what happened to her and the message she had when she was in the hospital, because I feel it's truly inspiring to see somebody so passionate about freedom and patriotism. So why don't we go right into it? Well, let's take a look. Let's look at the first one here. So this is one of the perspectives of the protest where the horses come by and they decide to trample a couple people. So let's watch together, shall we? That is the lady in question here. Extremely peaceful, speaking love. See?
Amen. Amen. Happiness. Peace.
You guys are breaking my heart. This is peace, love, and happiness. Peace. We are at peace.
Listen to what she's preaching. She's preaching peace and love and happiness. Does that look like somebody who's a violent protester? Because I have yet to see any violence being used by any of the protesters, even though they're being beaten, shot at with tear gas cannons, and arrested for extremely wrongful reasons. But let's continue. I just can't believe some people would assume that she is some sort of anti-vax terrorist. Or at least that's how Justin Trudeau would put it, right?
Hold the line! Here comes the horses.
And this is where things go south. And there they knock him. And another horse comes in, starts knocking them over, and then just complete collapse, trampling. Two people down.
Look what you did! Look what you did to her! Look what you did to her! Look what you did to her!
Police with no identifiers.
A lady who is inaccessible! Shame on you! Shame on every one of you! Shame on you!
This is a problem. Do you see any form of identifier on these policemen? Why? Well, this is so that they can't be held accountable for the actions that they're just following orders for, right? Well, this is going to become very problematic. Because all the good policemen, all the ones that aren't just willing to take the leash and get pulled to where they need to go, are either resigning, not showing up, or just taking the firing. It's absolute insanity that any of these police can go home and sleep. And I hope they don't. I hope they have nightmares about what they're becoming. They're only one step closer to earning their brown jackets. Keep that in mind. This video gets a little rough throughout, so I'm just going to stop this one here. All it is basically playing out as the yelling, the screaming match. People getting very upset, and rightfully so, at the actions the police have taken. So why don't we take a look at a different perspective, one that we can see a little bit more of where she gets hit by. So let's take a quick look here. Let's pop this one.
Trampling horses! Trampling! Stop it!
See? That horse went straight for them. Went straight for them. Didn't even bother getting out of the way. That was purposeful. It was malicious.
They just trampled that lady.
They claimed somebody threw a bike. There was no bike being thrown.
Trampled that
No
lady.
scooter, nothing. Just a walker. And that is when things started erupting. Again, violence brought on by people of authority who are meant to serve and protect. I saw no serving. I saw no protecting. At least, not the people that pay for their salaries. If anything, it looks like they're protecting the dictatorship that'll give them a nice red armband to go with that toothbrush mustache most of them will probably have to start growing just to fit in around Trudeau. But that's another example of the viewpoint that we get from this. I think there might even be another one in here. Yep, a little bit of a wider view. Let's take a look.
They don't care, you know?
I know, it's disgusting. I wish their fucking mothers were here right now.
Oh, there's more assault right there. Unnecessary assault.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Well, this one isn't involving the older woman. I'm a little disappointed that that one was just a continuation from where it had already left off, but you can see the violence and aggression they're using just towards people that are being peaceful. Something the mainstream media won't even put in their mouths when it comes to these people. They treat them like they're animals, but the only animals I see are the bulldogs being sent here by Trudeau. Well, if it's not him, it's clearly Doug Ford, and he's as useless as Trudeau. Wouldn't mind seeing both of them get fired and thrown in prison for their lack of... Well, actually, not even for their lack of integrity. Just throw them in prison for their lack of following the laws. Well, there's probably another perspective here, too. It seems like a lot of people have a lot of cameras pointed at this, and yet still silence from majority of mainstream media. And the only ones that do speak are speaking out about how bad the protesters are. Well, let's see how bad they are in this perspective. I don't think it's the protesters. Look, right behind that subscribe thing. And there they go. It wasn't the protesters spooking the horses. Look at that army of unnamed soldiers. Not even soldiers. Look at this army of Gestapo pushing them back, scaring their own horses into attacking protesters. It's just so sad to see. It's so sad to see. So, she did do a Twitter post, or, well, somebody took a post for her. The woman trampled by police horses in Ottawa yesterday is a clan leader of the Mohawk Nation. She is in the hospital with a dislocated shoulder, but is otherwise okay. We owe her a debt of gratitude for being right on the front line for our freedom. This could be. And look at her. Just as Canadian as ever, with the Tim Hortons and everything. She was trampled by a horse, and the first thing she got was Tim Hortons. I salute you. You did a great thing. But she also had a message to give. A message to give to everybody who is still there. Why don't we take a listen?
Hold the line, people. Hold the line, people.
Hold the line, people. All of you out there calling this a white supremacist protest, an anti-vax protest, you're too dumb to even understand what you're actually seeing. And the fact that you're gullible enough to believe half the shit you're being peddled proves that you don't think for yourselves. You've never thought for yourself. And that's an issue. An issue that you have no problem ignoring. But we're not going to ignore it just because you're willing to be a sheep. We're all wolves. Sheep don't last long with wolves. Anyways, guys, stay tuned for much more coverage of this, and I hope she has a speedy and a quick recovery, and she ends up healthy as can be after this. Because she did not deserve what happened to her. None of these protesters do. But the media, Trudeau, politicians, they'll tell you otherwise. They'll tell you we're the enemy. The only enemy is the people that are compliant with Trudeau. Keep that in mind. Hold the line, everyone. Love you. See you all next time. Bye-bye.